Please welcome our 2018 Southland College Prep Charter High School Commencement speaker, Ms. Cheryl L. Hyman.
Thank you for the warm welcome and introduction, Elena. You are amazing. All of you are truly amazing. And Dr. Davis, all I can say is you are remarkable. And you have truly created something magical here. You are remarkable. To the faculty and staff of Southland Prep High, I appreciate your unwavering commitment and dedication to the students, family, and the community. There's an old adage that says it takes a village to raise a child, and there is no better proof of this at work than in this school community. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't give a special shout out to my friend and former colleague, Ron Anderson. Many of you may not know that Ron was my first ever chief of staff. So I feel incredibly proud to have witnessed the success he and his team have been able to achieve under Dr. Davis's leadership. Congratulations, my friend. I can't wait to see what you and this great community will accomplish next. Now back to the most important people in attendance today. All of you, the incredibly talented class of 2018. It is a privilege to be a small part of your day, to be here with you, your friends, your family, and your loved ones. Now, since we only have a few minutes together, I will get right to the point. One of the great lessons I've learned in life is the importance of understanding the audience you're speaking to beforehand. As I prepared my remarks for today, I thought about your holiday musical that I attended recently and how I witnessed firsthand what you can achieve individually and collectively. You are smart, you're talented, you're fearless, you're purposeful. You all are the future game changers. Now take a moment and let that sink in, because that's the legacy you leave at Southland Prep. And to that, I say, well done. So since I know you understand the importance of a quality education and you've been educated at one of the best academic institutions, my time today won't be spent discussing education. Instead, I'd like to share some life principles that I hope will be helpful to you on your journey. As the years progress, you will make the transition to adulthood. You will experience a series of firsts. First time having to pay your own bills. First time interviewing for a full-time job. And hopefully you haven't had this first yet, but the first time you really think you've fallen in love with the one. Now, some experiences will be overwhelmingly positive, while others will leave you feeling vulnerable, filled with self-doubt, and grappling with lots of unanswered questions. Embrace it all. Now, indulge me for a few minutes while I share a little bit about my life to help you understand the perspective that I'm sharing with you today. My teenage years served up a healthy dose of challenges. While growing up in Henry Horner projects on the west side of Chicago, both my parents suffered with substance abuse. But through the grace of God, both survived and are doing well now, but not before it took a toll on our family. I dropped out of high school and eventually found myself living on the streets with little hope for the future. And after watching many of my friends die or end up in jail, I knew my future would be no different. And the only path to a better life was that of a quality education. So I landed a job at KFC, got my first studio apartment, and went back to school to get my high school diploma. But I kept thinking to myself, This can't be it. I want more for my life. I'm better than this. I want a real job. So filled with determination, hope, and passion for technology, I signed up for a 6-month trade school that promised to harness all my passion and lead me towards a career in computers. Now I thought, this is it. Who needs 4 years of college when I can do it in 6 months? Spoiler alert, it didn't work. I was no more prepared than when I went in. After 6 months, I walked away with a handful of useless certificates, no job offers, and was $2,500 in debt. Now, back in the day, that was like a ball and chain because I was only making $3.35 an hour at KFC. But I'd learned an invaluable life lesson that sometimes what you think is a shortcut ends up putting you further behind and costing you more. Shortcuts can be very short-sighted. But despite this early setback in my journey, I refused to give up on my passion for computer science and programming and knew that I wanted to attend the Illinois Institute of Technology. But I didn't have a lot of support. I was told things like, girl, forget it. Have you lost your mind? You won't get in. It's too expensive, and it's one of the best schools for computer science. And besides, you're a high school dropout from the west side of Chicago. But I was determined to not let their expectations define my story. So I reached out to my grandmother, who was loving enough to take me in. And knowing that I wasn't yet academically or financially prepared to attend a 4-year institution, she encouraged me to enroll at Olive Harvey Community College. And while going to school full-time, I worked every job I could find. And with hard work and perseverance, after earning my associate's degree, I not only attended IIT, but I graduated with honors, earning a bachelor's of science in computer science. Yeah, that's right, this high school dropout from the west side. Thank you. I later went on to earn a master's degree and eventually an MBA. Now, these academic achievements and lots of hard work enabled me to become a vice president at a Fortune 500 company, later the chancellor of City Colleges of Chicago, the same school that gave me my start, and now the author of a new book published by Harvard Education Press. So why do I tell you my story? Because I want you to understand that regardless of your financial means, and despite the wonderful support system you currently have around you, there will come a time when the buck stops solely with you. Good things and bad things will happen to you in life, and your ability to survive and thrive depends on how you perceive and react to these moments. The great news is that everything you need to be successful is already inside of you. Your school community and your families have armed you with determination, resilience, and perseverance. So in those moments when things aren't going great for you, do not give in. Your circumstances do not dictate your destiny. Now, a very wise person once told me a story about a farmer and a donkey that has stuck with me my whole life. So one day, a farmer's donkey fell down into a well. The animal cried for hours as the farmer tried to figure out what to do. Finally, he decided the animal was old and the well needed to be covered up anyway. So it just wasn't worth it to retrieve the donkey. So he invited all his neighbors to come over to help him. They all grabbed shovels and they began to shovel dirt into the well. At first, the donkey realized what was happening and he started crying louder. He started crying horribly. Then, to everyone's amazement, he quieted down. A few shovel loads later, the farmer finally looked down the well. He was astonished at what he saw. With each shovel of dirt that hit his back, the donkey did something that was amazing. He would shake it off and take a step up. As the farmer's neighbors continued to shovel dirt on top of the animal, shake it off and take a step up. Pretty soon, everyone was amazed as the donkey stepped up over the edge of the well. Now, he was a bit dirty and a little exhausted, but he happily trotted off. Now, the moral of the story is that life is going to shovel dirt on you, all kinds of dirt. The trick to getting out of the well is to and take a step up. Overcoming obstacles demands grit. It demands fortitude. It demands fearlessness. And each of our troubles is a stepping stone. We can get out of the deepest wells just by not stopping and never giving up. Embrace what frustrates you, what makes you want to scream and anger you, because in the mess lies the message. In the chaos is your place of purpose, your sweet spot, where you will have the greatest impact. So today I encourage you, no, I implore you to always believe bigger. So you say, Miss Hyman, how can I believe bigger? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I have 6 lessons. First, I want you every day to fight like your life depends on it. Refuse to take no for an answer, and when you find yourself down, take a deep breath and believe bigger. Second, challenge the limiting beliefs that hold you back. Get in control of what you believe. Make sure your worst enemy is not living between your 2 ears. You have to stop yourself from stopping yourself and choose actions that are in your own best interest. Third, choose your circle carefully. It is not about how many people you know, but what company you keep. Your inner circle should be filled with people with their own testimony. They should be able to share with you how they have come out on the other side of trials and tribulations. And be very wary of people who claim they have not faced any challenges, because either they have and they're in denial, and that does no one any good, or they're about to, and you want to avoid being caught in the middle. Fourth, I want you to feel fear and do it anyway. If it scares you, it usually means that you are on to something. Leap into your life with excitement and enthusiasm. Step out on faith, even if it means making a mistake. God, the universe, whatever you call your guiding light, offers enough grace to put you right where you need to be. What is worse, not taking the risk, not leaping, living your life with regret? One of my favorite motivational videos is Steve Harvey's Jump, because it lets you know that everything you want in life is on the other side of fear. Fifth, invest in yourself. It is here you will see the greatest returns. Realize that you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Everything you need to be successful is already inside of you. All you have to do is honor your intuition and say no to whomever or whatever does not feel right to you. And for the 6th and final way you can believe bigger, fail early and often. I am inspired by Michael Jordan's iconic words shared in an ESPN interview. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan missed 9,000 shots in regulation play. Imagine how many more shots he missed during practice, perhaps tens of thousands of shots that no one saw. The difference between average people and high achievers is their perception of and response to failure. Failing is inevitable, but using failure as a stepping stone takes guts, persistence, and an unshakable self-confidence, all traits I know each of you possess.